Honestly, if we really explain the origin virus of Resident Evil, the progenitor virus would have to go way, way back, so for now, well, skip that part and save it for later. First, let's talk about the story before Resident Evil Zero, because Capcom's storytelling can be pretty messy, or maybe the lore itself is just too complex. So some views in this video may conflict with some audiences. But everything here is based on balancing many theories online. If you disagree, feel free to comment. Before everything begins, we must mention one symbol throughout the series. That is the famous Umbrella, also known as Umbrella Corporation. Here, we'll simply call it Umbrella. It's a global monopoly corporation, appearing to benefit society. Medical tech, defense industry, pharmaceuticals, and more. With branches and staff all over the world, but secretly, it conducts forbidden research on biotechnology and life sciences, including biological weapons. Talking about Umbrella means mentioning its three founders.
Oswell e Spencer, a Noblema.
Edward Ashford, also a noble, and Edward's friend, the biologist James Marcus. All three are deeply tied to the progenitor virus. But today's Resident Evil Zero story starts with Marcus. For simplicity, we'll just call him Marcus. To avoid dragging this video too long, we'll skip the virus origin. Just assume it was discovered and mass experimentation began. Originally, the virus aimed to extend life and enhance strength. What it later became, we'll see. Reports showed that, after experiments, when applied to amphibians, mammals, and insects, they showed growth and increased appetite. But these results meant little like asking a bug how it feels. They won't tell you it feels great, right? So the most direct method was human testing. They built a secret lab in the Arklay Mountains near Raccoon City, a hidden base dedicated to progenitor virus research. Note, the lab was underground to stay hidden. On the surface, they built a leisure facility as cover. That surface structure was the mansion. Together, these locations form Resident Evil 1's setting. All three founders had the virus and wanted human trials urgently. They hired a famous architect from Raccoon City to design complex mechanisms and layouts. After finishing, they silenced him. Such secrets couldn't be leaked. So the architect and his family became test subjects. Among the first human progenitor virus hosts, the mother failed to fuse and was disposed of. The architect was imprisoned but later escaped. Walking his own mansion, he found layouts had changed. Umbrella had secretly added passages and traps. Lost inside his own design, he eventually died there. By coincidence, only his daughter Lisa survived fusion. Lisa successfully bonded with the virus. But note this. This was an early progenitor strain. Not instant zombification like later versions. It was still experimental. Lisa's body remained relatively stable. So she was injected with various viruses for years. Kept imprisoned long-term. Details can be found in Weskier's reports. She later appears in-game as a creature. Other injected viruses had no effect on her. Please remember this. Also, to train future senior researchers, they set up a training facility near the mansion as a talent pipeline. After that, the three founded the multinational Umbrella Corporation. A lot happened in between, we'll cover it later. Now jump ahead 8 years to 1976. Umbrella began building secret labs worldwide, mainly to expand progenitor research and develop BOWs. BOW stands for Bioorganic Weapon. In the films, Nemesis is basically an adapted BOW. In the games, it's the Tyrant line, Pursuer, Ivan type, and more. And BOWs can't happen without the legendary T-Virus. The T-Virus was created by Marcus, one of the founders, because progenitor's biggest flaw was being fragile and unstable. So Marcus pursued a stable, highly adaptable progenitor variant. After many trials, he chose leeches as a great host. They're ancient creatures, highly adaptable. Inject the virus, let it fuse, then extract new RNA samples. A new virus strain taken from the leeches. This should boost environmental adaptability to some extent. He did it and it was a major success. First, fusion became much faster. Second, fused hosts became violent and berserk. Both are perfect for bioweapons, especially for real warfare. Faster fusion enables assembly line production. And berserk traits mean stronger combat power. So here, the T-Virus was officially born. T is short for Tyrant, meaning tyrant. But despite huge success, it still had major flaws. Hosts were uncontrollable, metabolism spiked, skin rotted, and more. Plus, it was far too contagious. Note, by then, Marcus had moved from animals to human tests. Those human samples came from the nearby training facility, from young trainees brought in for training. This was noticed by Spencer, one of the shareholders. At a board meeting, Marcus prepared to present results. Spencer produced evidence of Marcus human experiments. After discussion, they saw how serious it was and removed Marcus. They ordered him to stop all T-Virus research, but Spencer had other plans already. At that time, Marcus' team had two genius researchers. Albert Weskier, 18, and William Birkin, 16. They were Marcus students, yet closely linked to Spencer. He'll explain that part later. Marcus was removed, but T-Virus work continued in secret. He quietly returned to the lab and started a new project, the Leech Queen research. In short, T-infected humans could command swarms of leeches. During this, he ignored Spencer's demand to share the T-Virus. So Spencer began thinking, kill him and take it. But Marcus still held influence, so Spencer first isolated him. He also ordered the training facility closed. 10 years later, in 1988, Spencer decided the time was right to kill Marcus. So the Tusker and welcome young ones.
You are the guests of honor. After all, it's your wake.
Who are you? Dr. Marcus?
No, you can't be. What's going on?
10 years ago, Spencer had me assassinated.
Oh, time to die, Doctor.
I will take over your research.
Wesker. Birkin.
However, something wondrous happened. It took the T-virus inside of my queen years to procreate my new life.
I live. Now I will have my revenge on Umbrella, and the world will burn in an inferno of hate!
Over the next 10 years, many things happened. Not just Wesker and William Umbrella itself was shaken. Those stories I'll also save for later. Now let's get back to the main thread of this episode. 10 years later, in 1988, Michael Warren became mayor of Raccoon City. He took bribes from Umbrella. So later, much of the city was employed by Umbrella. Meanwhile, Wesker and Birkin pushed T-virus research forward, and BOW work took shape. William designed the first T-virus prototype, the Tyrant. It matched the goal: tough, strong regeneration, knowing the basics. But this Tyrant still had many flaws. First, infection damaged the brain and lowered intelligence hard. Think about it, you want a weapon you can command. If it's brain dead, it attacks anything good or bad. How is that usable? It's just a walking meat shield. Second, true T-compatible human hosts are extremely rare. In-game data says 1 in 10 million might work. So even with money, Umbrella can't test 10 million people one by one, right? Of course, Umbrella could use gene work to make suitable clones. That's not the hard part. Also, Umbrella's France branch created something called Nemesis. The name comes from the Greek goddess of revenge, Nemesis. It can boost an infected host's intelligence to some extent. So once you find a perfect T-compatible host, you inject Nemesis into them, and you get the BOW you actually want. In the films, that's the Nemesis monster. The armored giant with a rocket launcher and a minigun. It's adapted from the game's Pursuer, essentially a Tyrant variant. First appearing in Resident Evil 3, known for being relentless, reviving, and evolving forms. And yes, there are many Tyrant variants, often very intelligent. They'll make a full episode explaining them later. Back to that earlier period when the mayor was bought by Umbrella. In those years, we must mention one key unit. STARS, the Raccoon City Unit. STARS means Special Tactics and Rescue Service, sometimes also called Special Tactics and Rescue Squad. Basically, the Special Tactics and Rescue Team. In the game, it also ties closely to the whole T theme. Around 1988, due to lack of funding and other issues, it nearly disbanded. Spencer kept STRS alive, but to control it, Umbrella placed Albert Wesker inside as a Spy Alpha team captain. Alpha team members were Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine, Barry Burton, Joseph Frost, Brad Vickers. Besides Alpha, STRS also had Bravo team. Bravo team members were
Enrico Marini,
Richard Aiken, Kenneth Sullivan, Edward Dewey, Kevin Dooley, Forrest Spire, and Rebecca Chambers-Rezero's lead, Rion's supporting role. Among them, Rebecca was the newest. She joined STRS shortly before ReZero begins, serving as the team medic. At that time, zombie dogs appeared non-stop in the Arklay Mountains, and people kept vanishing with brutal incidents. Why? Remember the biologist Marcus I mentioned? After being crippled by the two, he was exposed to a T-variant Leech Queen virus. He was later dumped into the sewers. This was in 1988. Over the years, the Leech Queen virus consumed his body, sinking his mind and copying his appearance. In a sense, it looked like Marcus returned. But it was really the Leech Queen. This Leech Queen only remembered revenge. So it stirred chaos across Arklay facilities, triggering ReZeros events. Whether the Leech Queen is truly Marcus is debated online. But I lean toward Marcus is dead. The revenge drive comes from what Marcus saw before dying. If Marcus truly revived, he wouldn't stay in Arklay Mountains forever. He'd have come out and caused real havoc long ago.